Hey guys, it's Rachel from The Luring Lamb, and today I have a book haul. Also, some side notes. First off, if you can hear noises, my sister is just outside doing something. I can hear her. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up. Also, these bins I have to put in the basement. They're full of stuff from my nanny papa's house because my papa's house just sold, and he passed away in December, so we had to clear out the house. So it's just some, keepsake stuff that I'm putting in the basement because there's nowhere to store it in here. But yeah, anyway, I'm storing a lot of books on top of this, and it's actually where I've been compiling my books for this book haul. And if we remember, if I was really good at editing, I'd put in this clip of me saying like, oh, I'm probably not going to buy books till July, but I'm not. So this is my book haul. I knew I was going to be buying a few books because I had two that I really wanted to read that are ones I ordered. And some of these books in this haul were actually I bought because I started reading the series. So I don't feel completely guilty about this. So we're gonna get on with the haul. And of course when I pre-ordered those books and bought the ones in the series, I just had to add some more into the cart. Even though free shipping is at $25 and most books cost that. It's just, I thought they'd get lonely shipping here, so I had to. But anyway, the first book I bought was You Think It, I'll Say It. And this is a short story collection by Curtis Sittenfeld. And I think that's how you say her name. And basically I am quite a way through this. I'm on page 146, and I'm really enjoying these short stories. I'm not a short story person, but I was really interested in this because right now I'm going to be doing a magazine video coming up, and one of my subscriptions is Entertainment Weekly, and I saw an article about this book, and it was a really interesting article, and it sounded like it was going to be a good short story collection, and a lot of it's about different types of women and what they're going through in their lives, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm not a big short story person, so I was shocked with how engrossed and enraptured I am with the characters and everything, because it's hard for me to connect when it's such short times of a character, but I'm really enjoying it, so I was really pleasantly surprised. And then let's just pull down a few of these from here. The next book I picked up was Confusion by Stefan Zweig, which I've already read. I really enjoyed this. I actually picked this up when my friend and me went to go see Solo in theaters because the bookstore's right next to the movie theater. And this one is basically about a young man who is not really into his academic studies until he becomes totally enraptured with his professor, and him and his professor start to get very close, and there's some very underlying feelings and just a menagerie of feelings and inclinations that you can't really act on. And I found this book to be very interesting because it seemed like, from the back cover, I'm telling you this, it seemed like this was going to have some some underludes to a forbidden romance, and I thought it was very interesting because it seemed like a same-sex romance, and this book was written I believe in the 1930s or 40s, which obviously any non-heterosexual relationship even nowadays is still, there's still some people against it and all that. So I found it very interesting that this would be talked about and this author was so accepted in that time period, and I thought it was really great. I love finding those gems of books that are in these time periods when certain things are accepted, feminism is not as big as a thing, race, religion, sexual orientation, all those things, when they're done really well in older books, I really love finding those treasures. And this one's very interesting, and I don't know if it's necessarily done well, but I think it is. I feel like you could fight either or, but I feel like it is. I'm going to talk about that more in my review. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next books in the haul. The next book was a pre-order, and it was When Life Gives You Lululemons by Lauren Weisberger, which is the third book in the Devil Wears Prada series. And this one follows the character of Emily, who is Miranda's other assistant. So if you're familiar with the film, I'll just explain it this way. So in the film, Andy's played by Anne Hathaway, and then Emily's played by Emily Blunt. So it's Emily Blunt's character. And it kind of chronicles her move to the suburbs, and she is in PR, I believe, and she has to do basically her one friend Caroline, or one girl Carolina, who's I believe a senator's wife. She's arrested for a DUI, and I think Emily has to turn that around. And I really love the character of Emily, and you don't get enough of her, so I'm excited to read this. And the title is genius. When Life Gives You Lululemons, I was pre-order in a way, because that is going to be a great book from that title. And I'm really looking forward to that because I just reread the reread the first book and read the second book for the first time 2 years ago. Then I picked up my other pre-order was The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrand, and I love Ellen Hildebrand's books, and this is her new summer book that just came out, and I'll be reading this as soon as I finish When Life Gives You Lululemons. And basically this one is all about a wedding, and basically hours before the ceremony, there's a tragedy, a body is discovered in the harbor, and suddenly the wedding party, everybody's a suspect. And the thing I love most about it is that Ed Capadash, who is one of the main characters in The Castaways, which is my favorite Ellen Hildebrand book, he's a police chief and he is going to be in this book. And also, it's featuring characters from The Castaways, which I've loved, Beautiful Day, which I loved, Beautiful Day, like that was such a good one, and A Summer Affair, which I haven't read, and The Perfect Couple, which I haven't read, I don't think. I can't remember if I read The Perfect Couple. But, you know, quite a few books I've read of hers, and I just love when they have crossovers because they're all on the island in Nantucket, so you get to see some old favorites and see what their lives are up to. And it's just going to be really good, I think. I'm excited. I didn't really like her last year's one. It was not really one of my favorites. Some have really high hopes for this one. Then I picked up Sex and the City by Candace Bushnell. And I picked this up because I'm currently watching the TV show. I'm on the 3rd season, almost on the 4th. And I have seen the first season years ago, thought it was too mature for me, and now I'm rewatching it now that I'm older. And I really want to read the book that, you know, inspired it all. And I've read the Carrie Diaries books because that's originally my introduction into, like, the whole Sex and the City franchise. So I haven't read this writing from her. I've read her teen YA writing, so it'll be interesting diving into that. And it's basically like, yeah, the story that inspires. So it's kind of like an article form, if I believe I'm thinking correctly. And then I picked up Hedda Gabler. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that horribly. I will learn how to say it for the review. By Henrik Ibsen. And I read his play, The Dollhouse, which is actually my favorite play. And I heard about this book, as I say to my friends, I'm like, because one of my friends was like looking at it and I was like, I'm a complicated girl. I found this book from Bridget Jones. And Bridget Jones in the book Mad About the Boy, I believe, which is the 3rd book in the series, she was talking about writing a modern update of this, and it sounded very interesting. And I kind of forget what this play is even about, but just Google it. It sounded really good. And her modern update was obviously playing off what had happened in the original play, so I really want to read the original. And I wish he would really publish that. Like, maybe the author will publish that. That'd be so exciting. Then I picked up The Favorite Sister by Jessica Knoll. This is her 2nd book. I really wanted to read her first one, Luckiest Girl Alive, and I still want to read that, depending on how I feel about this. But this one sounded so good, and I was like, ooh, I need to pick up this one before her first one. Because I right now have been so into reality TV. I've always loved it, but like lately, like for the past year, I've been watching like some Bravo shows. Like really the Real Houses of Orange County is the only one. I just got caught up to finish the 12th season of that, and it took me a year to get to that point. But it's like I try to watch a little bit of reality before bed, like 20 minutes, because it kind of relaxes me, and then I'm able to fall to sleep being a little bit more relaxed and less like high strung. But this one's based about a reality show called Gold Diggers. And basically, I believe, yes, one of the fan favorite ends up dead. And then basically all the other women on the show are all kind of suspects, and, you know, you have to figure out who did it pretty much. And it says for fans of Gillian Flynn and Ruth Ware. And I haven't read any Ruth Ware. I've heard some mixed things about her works, but Gillian Flynn, I absolutely adore her writing. So I'm excited about that. And it kind of looks at the lionized bonds of the feminist sisterhood and the real realities of a culture that pits woman against woman, sister against sister. I really like the reality show Spins. That's what I'm more interested in. But I want to see how it goes. And I've never read any of her books, so I'm glad to give her the chance to wow me, I guess. Even though it's not really... it's such a stupid way of putting it. But I'm excited to give this author a chance to see if I really like her books. Still sounds weird. Still sounds like she's doing me a favor when she is, if it's a really good book, that I'll be like, oh my gosh. You know what I mean. I'm excited for the opportunity to read her book. The next 2 books I picked up were because I read Crazy Rich Asians, which I already had on my shelf. I picked up the sequels. So I picked up China Rich Girlfriend and Rich People Problems. I don't really like that I have this one on hardcover, but it was very, very cheap. This one just came out too, I believe, in paperback. I don't know if it came out officially this year, but I really enjoyed this trilogy. I'm actually going to be doing a series review on it very soon. But that kind of started this whole book buying thing because I need to read the sequels. So I got one book off my TBR. I read these 2 ones I ordered, but it's like one book off the TBR, 2 books added to the shelf. And that series basically is about a girl named Rachel who is dating this guy named Nick, and he comes from a crazy rich family from Singapore, and she doesn't really know what she's walking into when she goes to stay with his family for the summer, and all the shenanigans that happen and surround that, and it kind of follows them and other characters from Nick's family throughout the novels. And I just really enjoy it, and you'll hear more of my thoughts in my review. And then the last book I picked up was Sex and the City and Us: How 4 Single Women Change the Way We Think, Live, and Love by Jennifer Keshin Armstrong. And this book came out this month. It was another one I pre-ordered, and this is the book that got me to watch Sex and the City again because I love hearing set secrets. I just love the whole production of the TV show and reading actors' Wikipedia pages and reading how the show all came together. Like, I'm really interested in the processes when it comes to shows, and, you know, were other people hired first, and all the background and stuff behind the show after I watch a show. So that's personally another reason why I am watching the show. And obviously it's such a cultural icon that I want to watch it and, you know, see what all the hype is, and get the references, because there's so many pop culture references that are just thrown out that I feel like I don't fully get. And I feel like as I watch more things that are older, then it'll help, because technically the show came out, I believe, when I was 3 or 4, and it ended, I think, in 2004 if I'm not mistaken, and I was 9 years old, so would not have been watching. I was too young to watch it at, like, I think 13. I watched the first season and put it down, and now I feel like I'm turning 23 this summer. I'm definitely more mature. And I'm really enjoying it actually so far. So I can't wait to finish the show and then get to this. And yeah, that is my book haul. If you guys have read any of these books, let me know what you thought. Obviously spoiler free. If you guys are interested in reading any of these books, or they sound interesting to you, let me know your thoughts too. You guys have been leaving some really nice comments lately, and I just want to say in my video, I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot to me. Sorry if that last part, like, seems very cut off and crazy. I had to... my camera actually died when I was filming that, so obviously this is a bit later in the day. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, which I was just saying, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!